Did you know the most searched phrase on YouTube is how to? Now, there are many variations of that and different questions being asked, but that is what everyone comes to YouTube for, is often to figure out how to do something. Well, today I want to talk to you guys about how to maintain a clean house, because it is the biggest question asked of me pretty much daily, of how to keep a clean house, especially with kids and pets. And I want to go through everything, not just a 10 steps to maintaining a clean home, but let's talk about the steps. Let's talk about the mindset and practical ways you can actually get you and your family there as well.
There's nothing wrong with that. Tripping, yeah, we all lose track. I wouldn't mind it if I find it.
Now, I know there are certain things that you will hear in every single video. You'll hear it from me and you'll hear it from others. But I want to talk about the things that don't often get talked about when it comes to maintaining a clean house. Because yes, there are things that are going to make life so much easier. Having a routine that works for you. This doesn't mean it has to be the fly lady or whatever. There's 1,000,001 routines out there, but just something that works specifically for you. Those are things that help. But what I really want to help you out is, one, let's talk about the difference between having a clean house, having a tidy house, and ways to actually make it so much easier. Because I promise you, you come to my house on a random weekday, my house probably is not tidy. I try. I do. But there is only so much you can keep up with. So I have learned, if I focus on one, the first thing I had to focus on when I started this journey to be more clean and organized was getting rid of stuff. And it took me years to get down to a manageable position, but decluttering is so important. It's important for your kids, it's important for you, it's important for everyone, because I personally believe that kids should have responsibilities in the house. You'll see today that I am cleaning up the kids' room, which I do about once every 2 to 4 weeks. I go in there and do a good, thorough cleaning. Now, the girls' room I do more often, because Athena is a hot mess and she is always destroying stuff. But when it comes to the boys' room, about every 2 to 4 weeks. It kind of depends on if I think it needs it and how busy life is at the moment. But when I go in there, I do a good reset. I will make their beds. I will tidy up. But most days, it is completely their responsibility to keep their rooms clean and organized. So I expect their room to look like what you see today. Now, is it 100% perfect? Everything's put away? No. I don't get on the kids about making their beds every day. The biggest things I get on them about is not leaving a bunch of trash and dirty clothes in their room on their floor. But I have also put in systems to make it easier. So, yes, I don't want you leaving trash around. So here's a trash can. Take it out twice a week. But here's a system to make it easier for you. I don't want them having dirty clothes left in their room, just stinking up and being on the floor and everything. So each of the boys have their own laundry basket. I always tell you that it's so important to work with yourself and not against yourself. Make the routines easy for you. Same goes for your kids. Make it easy for them. If you know, if I could put a dishwasher inside their bedrooms, I would put a dishwasher inside their bedrooms, because I feel like that is the one thing that I struggle with them is dirty dishes. I have to ask them every single day if they have dirty dishes in their room or not, because that is something that I don't want left around between the bugs and the stink of it all. But working with their tendencies, knowing that, okay, if they didn't have a dirty basket, I can guarantee those dirty clothes would end up under the bed. If they didn't have a garbage can in their room, I can guarantee their dresser and floor would have garbage on it. These are ways to, one, let's bring down the amount of nagging, because I would be nagging if I walked into their room and there was garbage and dirty clothes everywhere. So I'm going to work with them to make it as easy as possible. Like I said, it's really important to give your kids routines, but we got to work with them as well and make it simpler on them. That not only is going to save your mental state of not having to fight with your kids, but also theirs. I know in the summer compared to winter, our chores for our kids look very, very different. I do not stress nearly as much about getting certain chores done during the week on school weeks as it is on the weekend or in the summer. But I have also implemented these things at a very, very young age. So it's just kind of expected at this point, and I love that because the last thing I want to do is nag them. I think right now my biggest nag for when it comes to my children is taking a shower. We are in that phase where certain children don't want to shower. I never understood that. I know I went through that as a kid, but man, as an adult, I just don't understand.
Yeah, I just wanna be forever young. Yeah, I just wanna be forever young. I'm off the ground, no one can stop me now. Yeah, I just wanna be forever young. The other night, I remember what it felt like. Felt like to be young.
All right, so that is going to be my biggest tip when it comes to children. Now, mind you, this may be harder if your kids are older because we have to rewire things, but trust me, old dogs can learn new tricks. We just have to stay consistent and, like I said, work with them, not against them. Work with what makes it easier for them. But that is huge because it makes it, when I go in their room to do this reset, I am just focusing mainly on cleaning. Just cleaning. Nothing too crazy, and it makes life so much easier. All right, now the next thing we are going to talk about is if you are here because you are looking at your house, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling anxious, and you just don't know what to do or where to start. But first, I do want to take a quick second and thank the sponsor of today's video. I want to take a second to thank GetJoy for sponsoring today's video. GetJoy is awesome in making sure that our pups get all their nutrition needs. I know, like us, you want real, clean food for your dog. And that's GetJoy's freeze-dried raw. I absolutely love that's 100% USDA sourced meat. So it's no fake, no fillers, actual ingredients that you can pronounce. With Bailey especially, I have noticed more energy. Both the dogs have a shinier coat and they just have a little bit more of a spark to them. And with Belly Biotic in every bite, they're getting their prebiotic, their probiotic, and their postbiotic for a healthy gut. In the ingredients, the dogs are getting organ meat for healthier joints and muscle, pumpkin for their digestion, and even salmon oil for skin and joints. And it's all freeze-dried to lock in the nutrition. Fuel your dog's wellness and everyday's moments of joys with GetJoy's free dry raw dog food. Check out my link in the description box below for 50% off your first subscription order. Plus, receive a free scoop and a free bag of treats because joy starts within. So you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling stressed out, you look at your house, you're just paralyzed, don't know where to start, don't know what to do, and that's why you're looking up how-to videos here on social media. So first, if we are just starting out, we need to start with decluttering. Now, this does not have to be the whole KonMari declutter. We don't need to Swedish death clean our house. Let's start simple. Because you're already feeling overwhelmed, you're already feeling stressed out and paralyzed. So the first thing I really want you to do is to grab a garbage bag and walk around your house and just pick up the garbage. There are so many people that right now would be like, that's not really decluttering or anything like that. But let me tell you, if you are removing something from your home, you are decluttering. You are decluttering. So if you are just walking around and getting rid of all the trash, that is a big step. And it's one of those tasks that is like a domino effect. We start that, we start seeing progress, and it'll motivate us to keep going. After you have done that, pick another thing that's easy to declutter. When I am helping families around my community with my Helping Hand series, I always tell them, I'm like, let's start with the obvious yeses, not the things that we are going to hold in our hand and think about and him and haw about. Just that you look at it and you're like, yeah, get rid of it. So that is what I want you to do next. I want you to grab a box, pick a drawer, pick a closet, and just do the obvious yeses and then move to the next area. Don't even worry about the thinking about it stuff. Just go through it, get rid of the obvious stuff, the stuff that, yep, that can go, and move on to the next area. By tackling just trash today and just the obvious declutter items today, you are going to instantly see a huge difference in your home. And over time, you can start picking one room at a time, one little area at a time, and going deeper when it comes to decluttering. But we have to start somewhere. And I have found that those are one way to start your decluttering, because decluttering is definitely one of those things that gets easier over time and takes practice. So starting easy and then working up that decluttering muscle will make it easier and easier as you go. And then the next thing is we are going to focus on having a cleaning routine. But I am not talking a deep cleaning routine, because that can be so overwhelming. I'm talking just like a regular day-to-day cleaning and tidying routine. I find that often the most exhausting part of cleaning isn't the deep cleaning, isn't the stuff that you see me doing right now of making sure the baseboards are vacuumed, the furniture is moved and mopped underneath. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, on this day it was tiring, but this is not something that has to be done all the time. I do this about once a month. It may be done once every couple of months. It kind of depends on how things are going and moving along. And it's pretty easy because we've done other things first to make this a much easier task. You can see I don't have a lot of tidying up to do. I'm purely just moving things, vacuuming it, dusting it. But that all starts with the first foundational piece of having that simple daily routine figured out. And now things like that are going to consist of the mundane, like obnoxious stuff. Cleaning your dishes. That is something you need to do every single day. And yes, none of us like doing it. Washing laundry, at least staying on top of it. So I will say, I am not someone that washes laundry every single day. We have the baskets in the house. I do it a lot of days a week, but it is not every single day. I am not a one load a day keeps the piles away type of person. I wait till there's a pile and then I clean the laundry. So I will do laundry when needed throughout the house. But when it comes to laundry, I have implemented, I don't do everyone's laundry in my house. I do my laundry, the girls' laundry because of their age, and I clean Bobby's clothes. And that is purely because we use the same dirty basket in our room, and I am not a sorter. Let me know in the comments below, do you sort your clothes or do you just throw it all in? Because I just throw everything in. The only time I don't throw everything in is if I get something new that is red. It gets washed the first couple of times on its own. But after that, I wash everything on cold in the washing machine together. I do not sort. So those are the 4 people I clean for. Like I said, boys do their own laundry. They wash it, they dry it, they put it away. They have been doing that now for 2 years. I think consistently about 2 years that I have had them doing their own laundry. Now, when it does come to the girls, Bobby, and my laundry, like I said, I wash all of our laundry. Bobby puts away his clothes. I actually have never put away his clothes. It has always been one of those things. I will wash it. I will dry it. I even will put it in its own basket. That way he can easily get to his stuff and put it away. But I do not put it away. He puts it away. So he folds what he wants folds. He hangs what he wants hangs. And I will do my stuff. I will do towels. And then usually him and I work together when it comes to the girls' clothes. I do it a lot of the time, but not all the time. If he's not busy, he puts away the girls' clothes. If I'm not busy, I put away the girls' clothes. I also realized that was a long talk about laundry, but I know at least when it comes to my house, it is one of the least enjoyable chores. So I like to talk about the way I have done it that makes it less overwhelming for me. But going back into daily things. So we want to make sure our laundry that we don't have like piles and piles of loads to do, because that's going to overwhelm you. It's going to stress you out, and you may get to the washing and drying, but I can almost guarantee you are going to have bins of clean clothes that have not been put away. So try and stay on top of the laundry, that when it needs to get done, we do it, and we do it to the fullest as much as possible. I say as much as possible because trust me, I have definitely spent a day doing laundry and then waited till the next day to put it away. So don't beat yourself up if you do the same, because I am the same way. Dishes, do not leave dishes out. Let's make sure that even if we don't run the dishwasher right away, because let's say it's not full, we are at least keeping dirty dishes out of the sink as much as possible. Now, I will say I am not a nighttime cleaner. I know some people love to do a nightly reset, and I do highly recommend it. If you are someone that is a night owl and you have the energy to do a quick clean and tidy of your home every single night, 110%, I recommend doing that, because oh my goodness, it feels so good to wake up in the morning to a house that is just clean, tidy, and organized. I am not that person. Just going to be 110% honest and transparent with you guys. After dinner, I am exhausted. I pass out. I do the majority of my stuff in the morning while the kids are at school. So between let's say 8 to 9 a.m. It's usually closer to 9. Between 9 and 2 is when I get most of my cleaning and tidying of the day done. After I get home from school with the kids, there's usually homework to do, after school activities to take care of, making dinner, and after dinner, I'm just ready for bed. I want to sit in our room and watch a TV show, go outside and sit in our hot tub just to relax, or just go to sleep. I am definitely someone that is not a reset person, but I will say on those days that I do have the energy and motivation to get it done, it does feel amazing. So if you are a night owl, I highly, highly recommend taking the evening to do a reset. It makes a massive difference. All that being said, I do often wake up and have dishes that I have to do in the morning, but I still make sure that those dishes are done every single day. And if I can run the dishwasher at night, I run it at night and then handle the big stuff in the morning.
What about the self-confident girl? Guess you really need to be
All right, so we have tackled decluttering so that our daily tasks are easier. So the reason we are doing this in this order is really just to make the whole cleaning process easier. If you declutter first, there is less to maintain. That is why I always say declutter as much as possible, because the less stuff you have, the less stuff you have to maintain, which makes maintaining a clean house so much easier. So we've started decluttering to make maintaining easier. We've worked on a routine to keep up on the basic cleanliness of our home and not feeling overwhelmed by any one individual task. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the difference between clean and tidy. Now, like I said earlier, you may come into my house on a random weekday and my house may not be perfectly tidy. Just the other day, or I say just the other day, this is every single day. I had a basket full of Athena toys everywhere, and then she decided that those toys were not good enough. So she also took out all of the dog toys. I'm sure you guys can relate that I have come out of the bedroom to my entire water bottle spilled everywhere. There's like just certain things that your house may not always be tidy, because if you've got pets or if you've got kids, there's just always messes happening. But I do try and focus on always having a clean house. So I maintain my daily cleaning routine to keep up with the basics. I've decluttered as much as I feel is necessary, and I am still always decluttering. I am constantly getting rid of stuff as needed. But then the next thing I really focus on is just making sure the house is clean. That way, if someone comes over, I can spend usually less than 30 minutes to get the house tidy, and I am comfortable with them coming over, because the tidying portion never takes me too long. I can tidy up pretty quickly, especially if I do a family tidy session, which I do on a regular basis, especially on days that I'm feeling overwhelmed. I tell everyone in the house, I'm like, hey, can you give me 5 minutes? Everyone gives me 5 minutes, and usually we can get our entire house back in order if we all work together. I highly recommend that. If you got kids and whatnot and you're feeling overwhelmed, set a timer 5 minutes, tell everyone they have to help, and it's purely a tidy session. It's purely like, put the stuff that's on the dining room table where it belongs. If it belongs in your room, if it belongs in the like wherever it goes, deal with it. Same in the kitchen, the family room. We are just tidying up and putting everything away. That is a game changer on days that you just feel stressed out and overwhelmed, because I know I am someone that often feels stressed out and overwhelmed because of the state of my house. So implementing that is a huge win. And like I said, because I focus on the cleaning portions throughout the week, these projects that people may not think about, I'm able to do those 5-minute tidies and not feel overwhelmed if, let's say, my parents randomly say someone's in town and they're going to come over in an hour. I don't feel overwhelmed because I know I can do at most a 30-minute clean and have the house looking presentable. The often where we overwhelm ourselves is visually we get overwhelmed by clutter. Visually we get overwhelmed by the stuff on the floor, the toys, the things building up. But when it comes to actual time, those things don't take that long, especially if you stay on top of them. Now, I am a big believer of mess creates mess and clutter attracts clutter, which is why I tell you to still clean and tidy every single day, even though you know you're going to have to clean up that bin of toys again, and you know you're going to have to wash laundry again, and you know you're going to have to do more dishes. Do it every single day, because when you stop doing it, you're going to notice those messes getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because when we put it off and we leave it, those messes just attract more mess and more clutter in our homes. So we have to switch our mindset of thinking like, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to have to do it again in 5 minutes. Yes, that is absolutely true. But if we don't do it now, and I'm not saying you have to clean that pile of toys 50 million times a day, but if you can at least do it once a day, just once a day, tackling whatever project, that alone will help maintain it in the long run. You're going to see here in a little bit, I go back into the girls' room, at least I'm pretty sure. And there's going to be toys all over the floor again because I clean them at least once a day. Sometimes it's like 5 times a day. It kind of depends on my mood and how much I actually want to do. But at least once a day I go in and clean. But I can guarantee it only stays clean while the baby is napping. The second that baby wakes up, it is a disaster again, and it is just expected. But I know if I don't do it, over time, that mess is just going to grow and grow and grow. And not only is that not good for my mental health, it's also not good for the kids. It's not teaching them responsibility. And kids play and have so much more creativity in a clean and organized space with less things. Now, I will tell you, yes, my kids have a good amount of stuff. The boys, not too much. They've gotten to that age where they don't really care. And I taught them at a young age that how important decluttering is, so they're pros at it at this point. But my girls have a lot of toys. But I do know, I have learned over time, that cleaning and decluttering and playing all really do go hand in hand.
When there's nothing left to say, well, the good time is over, then I'll be on my way, but I'll come around swinging.
All right, so we have talked about responsibility when it comes to family members and helping out around the house. And I feel like that obviously is one of the biggest things, is making sure that everyone has a role in the household, but doing it in a way that no one's feeling overwhelmed and stressed out about it. We have talked about decluttering because we know the less stuff we have, the easier it is to maintain a clean and organized space. And we have talked about the difference between clean and tidy, that those are two different tasks in a home. And just because you have a clean home doesn't mean you have a tidy home. And just because you have a tidy home doesn't mean you have a clean home. But this next one I feel like is so important, especially in today's age of social media, is recognizing that everything does not have to be Pinterest perfect all the time. I find when I talk with people and I'm helping out different women in the community with keeping their homes clean and tidy, often the biggest roadblock is that idea of having their home be perfect and feeling like if it's not perfect, why even bother? Or getting that feeling of just being paralyzed and not knowing even where to start. So I want you to throw that idea of a Pinterest perfect home out the window. Now, I am not giving you license to just not worry about your space, because I don't think that is the right thing either. But my biggest thing is I don't want you to feel stuck. Like, I can't do everything today, so why do anything at all? Those small steps throughout the day, even on days where you are crazy busy and you can't get it all done, at least making sure to run the dishwasher, quickly wipe down the counters. Those little steps add up over time. And I find that so many people will be like, well, I don't have time to clean the kitchen, so they do nothing. I don't have time to completely clean the bathroom, so they leave all the stuff on the bathroom counters. If you can get over that hurdle of your home having to be perfect and just in the idea of I'm going to do what I can in the time I have, you're going to notice a massive difference. Because yes, there are some days where I can spend hours cleaning, and there are other days where I only have 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, or shoot, there may be days when I don't have time to get anything done. So I just try and focus on instead of putting something down, putting it away. All those little habits are going to make it easier in the long run and so much less stressful, and not have that anxiety of constantly having to keep up with the Joneses that we see on Pinterest and TikTok and Instagram and all of those different areas. So focus on what you can do in this time, and it will make your life so much easier.
I used to be kinda sane. I used to act kinda normal. I couldn't complain. Now it's never the same. I found myself picking pieces of mascara.
So here's a question now for you. When you are searching up a cleaning video, a how-to video, what are you searching for? What is on your mind that you want answered when it comes to keeping a clean house? What are those questions you have? I find that often if one of you are wondering a question, it's more than just you thinking about it. There's going to be other ones. And the one thing I love most about this community is how willing everyone is to help everyone else out. So I would love to see the questions so that I can hopefully answer them in future videos. But also, I would love for this to start some conversation in the comment section, where if you have questions, others can answer those questions or give you encouragement, helping in any way they see possible. I know nowadays it is so much harder to have that village that we all grew up hearing about. You know, it takes a village to run a household and raise babies. And nowadays that village is really hard to actually have. You may be like me, where you're just very socially awkward, which I know people always laugh at me. I'm here on the internet with thousands of friends. But in person, I am someone that if I am hanging out with people and I say something even slightly that I think might be weird, I will think about it for the next 5 business days, what I said. Or family being all over the country. It used to be growing up that people had family all within the same neighborhood, and nowadays people are spread out all over the country. So I love taking advantage of this beautiful thing we call social media. I know if you are new here, you may not know this, and I don't often talk about it, but I started YouTube, crazy enough, all the way back in 2018. And I started when Bobby got deployed overseas. At that time, I was a mom of 2. I had a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I was about to be embarking in something that I never expected. Bobby, yes, was in the military for many, many years, but he was National Guard, so I was used to him being gone for a month at a time, him being gone for a couple weeks at a time. I knew he had been deployed in the past, but with his position, he had never been deployed in those years that we had been married. So it was the first time I was ever going to be doing it all by myself for over a year of him being gone in a completely different country and not knowing when I'd even be able to talk to him and hang out. So I started this whole journey here on YouTube to kind of have an outlet, because on top of that, I was a working mom outside of the house. I was working 40 to 60 hours a week outside the home. I was very lucky because at that time where my job was, I was able to take advantage of a family friend that did in-home daycare situation. But Xander was going into kindergarten, and we were going to have to obviously find someone to be able to watch the kids closer to home, as well as be able to do the pickup and drop off if I was going to maintain my job. And after looking at the cost of childcare and all the extra things that came with having our first child going into school, we made the decision that while Bobby was deployed, I was going to stay home. So my husband was going to be gone for over a year. I was giving up a job, and I have worked my entire life, pretty much since I was about 12 years old. I have been working, and I needed something, and that I came here to YouTube, and it's the biggest blessing in the world. One, I love that I can call this my job, but the biggest reason is I found a community of women that not only are so supportive and loving and kind, but I also found a community of like-minded people that I get to have the privilege to hang out with every single week. You guys, in so many ways, have become my friends. We chat over on Instagram, we chat here in the comments, and honestly, just sitting here doing these voiceovers and talking to you is one of my favorite parts of the week. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much, and yeah, leave those comments in the comments below, because I feel like it is so important for us as housewives, stay-at-home moms, or just women in general to have a community we can come to. And our village may not be in person nowadays, but we can still find that village that encourages us and keeps us motivated, answers our questions, and is there when we need them. And I know each and every one of you are perfect for that. But I really, really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, like always, make sure you like this video. If you would share this video, that is a huge, huge help. Maybe save this into your watch laters. All of those little buttons underneath this video, when you click and use them, it's a massive help to my channel. So like, commenting, sharing, saving, all of those things are ways that you can support me and my family here on YouTube. So thank you guys every single week that does that for me. And if you did make it this far, let's drop this emoji down below. I love seeing who my true MVPs are and who watch my videos all the way till the end. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday and enjoy your weekend. We had Xander's fall concert yesterday, which was so much fun. And I think we're going to be going to a pumpkin farm tomorrow. So we got a lot of stuff planned. Family dinner on Sunday. And I hope you guys have a blessed and lovely weekend as well. I'll see you next time. Bye.